You guys know when I do videos, man, while I try to be respectful and I try to be fair, I got to say what I feel. Whether or not I'm right or wrong, I got to be honest with myself, okay? This guy right here, this man right here, this James Dolan, right? This is the man who I think shares the most responsibility for why the New York Knicks are where they are now, all right? As much as I don't like Carmelo Anthony, right? Not personally, but as a player at times. Personally, he's a good guy. I have no problems with Carmelo Anthony as a person, okay? But as a player, I don't like his style of play. I think it hurts the team. I think he should be more of a secondary player at this point of his career. He's not, whatever, right? But who's the guy who initiated and orchestrated signing Carmelo in the first place, right? Carmelo's just a slave. Who's the slave owner? To use an analogy. It's this man. Before Carmelo, ever since this man took over the team, the organization has gone downhill. This is the guy who most of you don't even recognize. If they put a picture of this guy right here, you just see James Dolan. You hear his name, but you don't see a face, right? Most of you don't even know that this is James Dolan. I'm not all that familiar with his face. That's James Dolan. Why are people not blaming this guy? Ever since he took over the team back in the early 2000s, close to the mid-2000s, the New York Knicks have become a laughingstock. This used to be a proud organization, all right? Only because of the great Michael Jordan and Hakeem Olajuwon have the New York Knicks been thwarted from championship aspirations in the 1990s. Because they could have won a title in 93. They should have won a title in 94. And this is a year many people don't talk about. They could have won a title in 97. I think personally that Knicks team in 97 would have put up a better fight in the Eastern Conference Finals than that Miami Heat team. The only reason why they lost to Miami is because of the suspensions, which was a very lopsided penalty toward the Knicks against the Miami because the players that the Knicks had to sit because of the fight, the melee. Those 3 years, the Knicks could have won a title. They definitely should have won it in 94. They could have won it in 93, and they could have won it in 97, possibly. That Knicks team, even though we beat them, because you got to remember, they were real competitive with that 69-win Bulls team. We never blew that team out, and they beat us twice. And it took a 51-point heroic performance. I remember them years perfectly. All right? I know what I'm talking about. Ever since this man took over that organization, they've sucked. There's been a downward slope, and they're trying to put it all on Carmelo, when more of the blame should be on Phil Jackson and this man. This man. So in a radio interview recently, talking about the incident what happened to Charles Oakley. I don't like particularly Charles Oakley. Okay, I've been on record. Sure, I don't like Charles Oakley. Right? As a person. I think he's a bully. All right? I think he's jealous of Charles Barkley. All right? But in this situation, I'm siding with Oakley because the security and the police set that man up to look like a fuck. They set him up to look a certain way. James Dolan is a fucking con artist. All right? This is what he said about Charles Oakley. Quote, "It's not necessarily a lifetime ban," talking about Charles Oakley, excuse me. "The most important thing is we need to help keep the guard in a place that is comfortable and safe." Right there. Big 6'9" black guy, he's a threat. He's a thug. Come on, man. Anyone that comes to the garden, too much alcohol, is looking for a fight and being abusive and is going to be banned. Okay. When has Charles Oakley had any type of history of causing a ruckus at the garden? When? Matter of fact, I don't really recall Charles Oakley having any type of history of alcohol abuse. I can't remember it. Can any of you guys? Dennis Rodman? Yes. Okay. Dennis Rodman? Yes. J.R. Ryder? Yeah. I remember many instances. Derek Coleman? Yes. Various other players. I don't really remember Charles Oakley other than, being an enforcer. I don't remember hearing about him having problems with alcohol abuse. I'm not saying he doesn't drink alcohol, but being a slush and a guy that's bullshit. Hopefully it won't be forever, the ban. As far as bringing Oakley back, there's nothing that would make me happier. Bullshit! All we need is for Charles to address these behaviors. He was a great Knick. He should be up there and be recognized, but this behavior, until he fixes that, it won't happen. I'm going to tell you what it really is. He doesn't like Charles Oakley personally. Well, for whatever reason, he doesn't like him. All right? Now, I would call him a racist, but he's very good friends with Isaiah Thomas. So I'm not going to call him a racist per se, but I'm just going to be honest here. A lot of people who are of his mindset are uncomfortable with certain black people. I want to harp on something that 78 Sports TV said yesterday. I do notice a lot of whites, not all, but a lot of white people are uncomfortable around large black men. For whatever reason. The physical intimidation factor, I don't know what it is. But, Charles Oakley is a man who's physically large, intelligent, and he speaks his mind. That's threatening. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you a larger portion of this photo that I showed you, right? Look at the guy sitting to Dolan's left in the right of the picture. That's John McEnroe. Now, you want to talk about a guy who's had a history of verbal abuse, outbursts, physical altercations? That's John McEnroe, the tennis player. That's the guy who has more of a history of violence than Charles Oakley, but you have no problem with him being in the Garden. Because it's looked at differently because McEnroe's, a 5'11", I guess, white guy, whereas Charles Oakley is 6'9", 250-pound behemoth, 260-pound behemoth. Basically, you're trying to make Charles Oakley into something that he's not. You're trying to win this argument that, or create this narrative that Charles Oakley is this troubled guy when he's really not. And what it is you're a guy who's narcissistic and you don't like criticism. Just today, I was listening to an interview with Michael Rappaport, and he said that you're the guy who banned Marv Albert because Marv Albert was critical of you and the organization and your tenure, and you banned him. And Marv Albert was the voice of the New York Knicks for decades. It's you. You're the problem. Sell the fucking team because you're a fucking disgrace. That's why the fucking fans chanted Oakley and then fired Dolan because you need to fire your ass. Get out the fucking New York Knicks organization. You suck. Think you're fucking above. The media won't call you out, but I will. Sell a goddamn team.